Today, we're going to tackle a really big question for anyone trying to build a career in finance here in India. Why is it so tough to land a great job even when you have the degree to back it up? Let's get into the gap between what you learn in a classroom and what you actually need to know, and how you can bridge it to become the analyst companies are fighting to hire. So, does this sound a little too familiar? You've got the degree, right? A BCom, an MBA, maybe you're even working your way through a CA or CFA. You've put in the years, you know the theory inside and out, but the job offers just aren't rolling in. I want you to know you are not alone. And there's a very, very specific reason this is happening. We call this the graduate's dilemma, and it's pretty much the harsh reality for so many people. There is this huge, massive gap between what colleges teach you and what an employer in the real world of equity research or investment banking actually needs you to do from your very first day. Look, on one side, you have a really solid grasp of concepts and theories, but on the other side, employers need you to have practical skills. They're looking for people who can jump right in, build a financial model, understand a specific sector, and just be ready to contribute from day one. They simply don't have the time to teach you the basics on the job. And believe me, this skills gap becomes painfully obvious the second you walk into an interview. Let's actually walk through some of those killer questions, the ones that immediately separate the people who just know the theory from the ones who can actually do the work. All right, here's the big one. Can you build a 3-statement financial model from scratch in Excel? Now, you might be thinking, well, I know what that is, I understand the components, but that's not what they're asking. They want to know, can you build it right here, right now? And then there's this classic, walk me through a DCF valuation you've done. Notice the emphasis on you've done, not one you read about in a textbook. They want to see one that you've personally built, struggled with, and can defend. It's all about testing your real, hands-on experience. Then they'll probe your depth. Tell me about the banking sector, or maybe it's IT, or chemicals, or consumer goods. They're looking to see if you understand what actually drives a business in a specific industry, not just some generic ratios anyone can memorize. This is where expertise really, really matters. And finally, a question that shows just how fast things are changing. How would you use AI tools in your research process? You see, the modern analyst is expected to be tech-savvy, to use these new tools to be faster and smarter. If this question catches you off guard, you're already behind the curve. Facing those questions can feel, well, pretty intimidating. So how do you get the skills to answer every single one of them with total confidence? What if there was a complete, systematic way to build every skill those questions demand? Well, that is exactly where the Analyst Stack comes in. Our whole philosophy is simple, but it is so powerful. It's a 3-step journey. First, you learn the fundamentals. You absolutely master the core technical skills of financial modeling and valuation. Then you apply those skills to real-world equity research. And finally, you augment your entire workflow with AI to make sure your career is future-proof. Learn, apply, augment. It's the formula for becoming a complete analyst. And this entire philosophy is built on what we call the 3 pillars of mastery. Look, this is not just some short online course. This is a comprehensive 200-hour program designed to completely transform your skill set from the ground up. Okay, so let's break that down. The program is built around 3 core pillars, delivered over 100 different sessions. First up, you'll spend 50 hours laser-focused on financial modeling and valuation. You'll be building complex models from scratch. Then we dive into a massive 110 hours on equity research, where we go deep on different sectors. And finally, 32 hours on AI and finance, so you can supercharge your workflow. And all of this comes with a free bonus career module to make sure you are 100% job ready. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I've seen other courses out there. And you're right, you have. But the Analyst Stack was specifically designed to be different, to be the most comprehensive, most practical program of its kind anywhere in India. Let me show you exactly how. The first thing that sets us apart is this number, 25. We do deep dives into 25 different sectors of the Indian economy. This is just unprecedented. We spend 2 full hours on each one, from banking and IT to pharma and consumer goods. Just imagine walking into any interview ready to talk intelligently about the key drivers and metrics for almost any industry. That is a massive, massive advantage. You know, traditional courses tend to be really heavy on theory, the topics are all over the place, and there's very little real-world application. The Analyst Stack is the exact opposite. It is built on practical skills, a complete workflow, and real case studies on actual Indian companies. You don't just learn about financial modeling, you actually become a financial modeler. And it doesn't stop there. The entire program is taught by actual industry practitioners. We're talking people who work as analysts at mutual funds, hedge funds, and investment banks every single day. You're learning from the pros, not just academics. We also integrate modern AI tools from start to finish, and the whole thing is backed by SSEI, an institution with more than 15 years of trust and excellence in finance education. So what does all of this lead to? It all leads to one thing: making you job ready. And here's what that means to us. It's the ability to build financial models, to analyze sectors, to conduct real research, and to contribute real value to your employer from your very first day. Every single one of the 200 hours in this program is engineered to get you to that exact point. We honestly see this as more than just a training program. This is your personal analyst transformation. It's the structured journey that bridges that gap between the graduate you are today and the in-demand professional you are about to become. So here's what that journey looks like step by step. You start with the foundation, where you master financial modeling. Then you move to application, building deep expertise across those 25 sectors. Next is augmentation, where you integrate AI tools to become a truly modern analyst. And all of that culminates in your launch, where you are fully prepared, confident, and interview ready. So who is this for? Well, it's specifically designed for you if you're a fresh graduate with a finance degree, if you're a CA or CFA candidate looking to get those practical skills, or even if you're a career switcher who's passionate about breaking into finance. If you feel stuck between your education and the career you really want, this is your bridge. Ultimately, it really all comes down to this one idea. The question isn't, do I have the knowledge? Because after years of studying, of course you do. The real question you have to ask yourself is, do I have the skills? Because in today's market, skills are what gets you hired. And that's exactly what this is all about.